Welcome to Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I'm so glad you joined me today. Let's get started. Hey, thanks for joining me today on Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. Today, I wanted to kind of go a different direction than I have been, and how I'm learning to let go of anger, painful feelings, mostly just anger, actually. Um, if you've listened to my podcast, you know about me learning that my mother is a covert narcissist and my battle with dealing with that. And honestly, starting this podcast and talking about it on here has really almost been therapeutic for me. I hope it's helped other people along the way, but it's definitely helped me to talk about it. And not that I haven't talked about it extensively with my husband and my sisters and my dad, but for some reason, getting on here and having the freedom to just talk about it how I want to talk about it and say what I want to say has really helped me to, I don't know, come to a place that I knew I would eventually get to and just try to move on from it. Um, I just, I knew I would get to a place where I wasn't angry anymore. Just like I said in the beginning, when I would turn to having, you know, an alcoholic drink at night before I went to bed just so I could not think about things and just go to sleep. Things like that. I knew that would end. I also knew that the anger part would end eventually, and it's coming to that point, I think. Not that I don't still get annoyed with my mom and her antics. Like, just when I was starting to, get to that point after doing the podcast, she had to do something narcissistic and annoying again. But thankfully it was small and I didn't have to deal with the actual angry feelings anymore, which was nice. And if you've never dealt with a covert narcissist, you might not understand how narcissistic this instance was. But she had invited my kids and I to either meet up with her or come over, because I guess she actually wanted to see my kids. Like, wow. Surprise, surprise. So we had been going back and forth. Either the days that worked for her didn't work for me, or the ones that worked for me didn't work for her. And we've been trying for 3 or 4 weeks now, trying to get a date scheduled. And one of these times when we're texting back and forth, she asked, are you going to, and then she put my niece's name, are you going up for her birthday? Implying something was going on for my niece's birthday. Well, I knew I hadn't heard from my sister. My niece is turning 17. She doesn't typically have parties that include, us and the younger kids anymore, which is understandable. But I wasn't about to say that to my mom, because I try to give as little information, especially about my sisters, and they try to do the same, hopefully, for me as possible, because any normal person would just ask the daughter who has the kid with the birthday what they're doing for the birthday. But not my mother. She has to go a roundabout way of trying to find out information instead of just going to the source. So I said that I didn't know yet. And I didn't, because I didn't know if there was any plans. So I said I didn't know yet. Are you going? Well, of course she's not going. That was one of the reasons that all of this blew up in the first place. Is she didn't want to go to kids' birthday parties anymore. And so she gave 2 different excuses for why she can't go instead of just the usual, she just doesn't go to birthday parties anymore. And so, yeah, that was exhausting. So then after that text, I'm texting my sister and it's like, are you doing something for her birthday? Mom's asking, like, there's something going on. Well, then my mom texts me and says, I don't even know if she's doing anything. Like, and I know that just sounds, oh, that's just annoying or something little. It's just one in a huge pile of annoying, narcissistic things that she does. So, anyway, thankfully all that was just simply annoying and not, didn't, like, make me angry, thankfully. I'm tired of feeling angry, honestly. It's not good for me. It's not good for my health. It's not good for my kids. It's not good for my marriage. It's just not good. So I'm trying to let go of that. And right before I sat down to record this podcast, I follow a minister named Barry Bennett, and he had posted something on Facebook, but I wanted to read it on here because it was perfect for kind of what I've been processing mentally with dealing with all of this. But he said, you cannot live in the past and touch the future. You may have made mistakes and lost time, but you never lose God's love and grace for the future. You can start today. And I needed to hear that. I really did. I feel like sometimes the past few years were kind of not necessarily robbed from me. I definitely feel like my entire childhood was robbed from me because I don't know it, I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't know what happened, what didn't. I can't trust my memories. I can't trust what she tells me. So I feel like a lot of that was lost, and I feel like a lot of the past few years were just spent ruminating over things and being angry. And I don't want to do it anymore. I'm ready to move on. I'm in that phase now. I want to move on from the phase that I was in. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I just noticed with my health, when you're thinking negative thoughts all the time, I just found myself being very negative. Like, I come from a long line of negative, complaining, griping, nitpicking people. And I found myself being extra that all the time. And I'm ready to put that aside. I haven't always been that way, or at least not vocalized it as much as I have recently. And, it's not what I want to pass on to my kids. It's not what I want my husband and I's discussions every evening to be, just talking negatively about this situation or that person or this thing. I want to be more positive, and I want to complain less and be thankful more. And so that is, kind of where I'm at with that. And so I want to start doing things to put me in a better mental space. One, focus less on my mom being a narcissist and focus more on who I am and who I need to be and what I can change about myself. And while in all of this, I've been trying to figure out who I am. I have realized that the way I've been the past couple years with being negative and complaining isn't who I want to be. And I believe that a lot of that is learned behavior and bad habits. And I want to put them aside now and just move forward and be positive and happy. Which I used to be at one point. And I think my kids will do better. I think my relationship with my kids will do better. I think my relationship with my husband will do better. My relationship with anyone else in life will do better if I'm not just negative and complaining all the time. And I also hope that it impacts my health in a positive way, because your thoughts, where your mind goes, your body will follow, and I'd like to be in a positive space. Now, when you're listening to this, I will already have gone to my mom's house and had that visit with her. So you might hear a podcast after this where I have to vent about that. I'm hoping it goes well, and I'm hoping that we can just surface. I will definitely be going gray rock and just no emotion, nothing deep, nothing that's really going on in my life that I don't want her to know about. It'll just be very surface. But I won't be angry and rude like I was that last time that, my brother-in-law's event. I won't be that way, because I just don't like that for myself to be that way. But I won't be the, emotional, deep person that she used to know me as, because that's how she got all her information out of me. And I don't want to be a source for any of that anymore. So I probably, unless that visit is just super boring, I'll probably do a podcast over that. But kind of hoping it's just boring and nothing bad happens, nothing too annoying happens. I hope not. My kids just want to go and play, because she lives on 5 acres, and there's animals, and there's a golf cart and a riding lawnmower that doesn't mow anymore, but they use it to get back and forth on the property. So my kids are looking forward to riding and all that, and playing with my 25-year-old brother, who acts like a kid. He's probably looking forward to them coming over more than anybody, because I think that's the only interaction with anybody that he gets to have, because all he does is stay home with my mom all day. He doesn't work, doesn't even have a driver's license. He works for her in her ministry, like posting a video a couple times a week. But as far as I know, that's about it. So, poor guy, he doesn't have any interaction with anybody. So he's going to play with his niece and nephew. And he's probably really looking forward to that, which is sad. And before you judge him harshly, put that on my mom. Honestly. He is her new supply, because I'm not around anymore. So he is her new emotional supply. She keeps him, treats him like a kid, keeps him like a kid. And I don't know that he would have the gumption to go against her. And honestly, if he did, my stepdad and my other brother would probably fight him on it too. So yeah, don't judge him on it. I don't think that he has the mental or emotional maturity or experience. She homeschooled them, and don't get me wrong, because I homeschool, but my kids are not like sheltered and kept away from everyone. They're not at all, and have very good social skills. But my brothers, that's a different story. My mom let them play with one certain family, and that was basically it. They had some online friends, which I don't agree with, but that was about all that they had. So yeah, I don't think that he could make it out in the real world if he even wanted to. at this point. Not without a lot of help, because she's just kind of kept him, as her little kid, and convinced him that that's what he wants. He doesn't even act like he wants to get married and have kids and stuff like my other brother does. So, yeah. My sisters and I pray for them a lot. It worries us, but there isn't anything we can do, because when we've tried to say something, they pull together. Like, one of my other videos talked about the family cult dynamic, and they very much pull together and say that, no, we all believe the same way, and we all think the same way, and this is how we want to do things. And so there isn't really anything we can do except pray for them. And that's about it. So, yeah, I'm ready to move forward, like that quote said. If I'm stuck in the past, I can't move forward, and I'm ready to move forward. And so I'm hoping to have some more positive and uplifting podcasts in the future, and not so depressing and just focused on, narcissism and the effects that that's had on me. I want to move forward and push past that. Otherwise, she still has control over my life, and I refuse to let that happen anymore. And so, yeah, I'm taking back control, and I want to be a more positive person. It's going to be hard, because I have established this habit pretty well. Even today, I was complaining about something, and the whole time I was texting my husband about it, I was like, you wanted to stop doing this. You need to stop doing this. And, yeah, but I didn't stop. But I'm trying. I have been doing a little better. And I wanted to keep doing a lot better. But yeah, that's a difficult one to break, I think. But I want to be more positive, and also rely on God more during all of this, especially with my mom being a preacher, and having been in her church for so long. It's really hard. Not that I don't have a relationship. I have my own relationship with God, and I have a strong relationship with God. I've just felt like the past few years, because I don't want to be associated with her or be like her in any way, and I don't want anyone else to perceive me as being like her, that I've kind of almost been holding God at arm's length. Like, just, I'll pray to you, I'll talk to you, I love you, but I'm not ready to go very deep right now. And I think I'm to the point where I want to go deeper again. I had a really strong relationship with God for a long time, and I don't know. After the whole thing with my mom, it was almost like a mini rebellion that I went through. Feels like, and I'm ready to put that aside and draw closer to Him. I think I want to be a good example for my kids, and while I teach them biblically, and I, teach at church and all of that, my heart has been, I don't want to say hardened, but it's just like I've been keeping Him at arm's length, and I've felt that for a long time, and I'm ready to move out of that and let Him in more again, I think, because I really don't think there's any way that I would end up being like my mom. One, I am grounded in reality. Two, I am married to someone grounded in reality, and that would not let me deviate from that. And thankfully, I am very thankful to be married to my husband and the way he is like that. He wouldn't let me get away with that at all, thankfully. Yeah, I think, I'm in my right mind. I am mentally stable and I want to remain that way. And, it's like that, what I read in that book in one of my first podcasts where, it says in the Bible that if you blaspheme the word of God, which a wife does if she forsakes her role and takes over, that is actually blaspheming the word of God, then God will give you over to all these other things. And that's what it looks like has gone on with my mom spiritually, from a spiritual side anyway. And I just pray that wouldn't happen with me. I don't want that. I don't want to rule my household. I don't rule my household. I just, I know my role and I stay in it, and I like it that way. I don't want to change that. And so I'm hoping that will help me, stay on the right path and stay just mentally stable. Because I don't want to go where she's gone, and I don't want to do what she's done. And knowing myself, I don't believe that I really would. And it's not that I was afraid it's not really that I thought, oh no, I might turn out like her, that I kept God at a distance. It was, I don't know, I just really didn't want to sound like her. I didn't want to come off like her. And, unfortunately, I think that she not gave God a bad name, but gave, I don't know, being a vocal Christian maybe a bad name. As far as in my family circle, everyone that knows what's gone on and knows how she is, everyone kind of backed off from things, and that makes me sad. And I don't want to let that come between me and God anymore. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna start, trying to read my Bible regularly again. And I've been listening to a few of the preachers that I like again, where I had avoided that for a while. Because a few of them are same ones that she'll listen to sometimes, and I'm like, I just want to distance myself from anything she has to do with as much as possible. But I really do like a few of those preachers, so I'm trying to listen to them again, trying to just get back in step with God, I guess, instead of strong-arming him away from me. I'm gonna reach back out and try to do better. I need to be a better example to my kids, and I need to just be a better wife and mom and employee and friend and everything else that I have to do. I need to be better at it, because I haven't felt like myself in a long time. And I know some of that has to do with, not feeling good with Hashimoto's and having flares and all the different things that come with that. The anxiety, the depression, all of that doesn't help. But not having a good relationship with God where I knew it needed to be, that is going to make all of that worse. And I need to step back into that. And hopefully some of that will get a little easier and get a little better. So I will let you know how my progress goes with that, and see if I can stick with being positive, or at least more positive than negative, and stop my complaining. What was funny was as soon as I made this resolution, just in my mind to myself, several of the sermons that I happened to listen to, because they were the most recent ones posted, were about how the Israelites grumbled and complained, and that robbed them of the blessing, and it robbed them of what God had for them. And I realized it's even more serious than I was taking it at first, and I don't want to be robbed of the blessing, and I don't want to be robbed from the good things that God has for me. And I'm looking forward to growing this channel, growing the podcast, and I believe that God put me on this path, and for whatever reason, I don't know yet, but I definitely believe that He is the one that led me to this. And even though I can't see exactly why yet, I am gonna stick with it, and I'm going to trust Him that He's gonna guide me and direct me. And honestly, it's been 2 months, and already I've come through what I couldn't do in 4 years with getting over the anger and getting over all of that. And just talking on here and talking to all of you and the few of you that have listened, just talking about those things the way I need to has helped so much. And so, even if that was all that came out of it, that'd be fine with me. It's whatever, God has for me. I know He'll guide and direct me every step of the way. So I'm just going to trust that now and step into that more and just be diligent and see what comes of this. But I appreciate you sticking with me and listening. Thank you for joining me on Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I will be back on Tuesday talking about all things genealogy and DNA, and I will see you then. Bye.